Collision 3 swimmers. One epic finish. This 800-meter freestyle battle is absolutely unforgettable.
Mulgrew, Sandage combined for one of the most memorable 1500s we've ever seen at a TYR Pro. A race that came all the way down to the finish. And Will Mulgrew got it done, taking the first place on the 1500 away from the world record holder Bobby Fink. But it was all with less than a second to spare. Carson Hick in third. Ellis Creasy, all sorts of great racing in that 1500. What do we have in store this evening? Max Carlson getting things going early in the far too soon to tell splits phase. He was out in the 27.1 to take the early lead. Spread of times 8:04 all the way down to the American record. Bobby Fink 7:38.67. He was within shouting distance of that time at the Olympic Games. Has been in the sub 7:40 range a number of times. Right now though, Fink sitting in third after 100 meters, Sandage in second, and Carlson continues to lead. A little similar to what we saw from Carlson 2 nights ago. He was out with the early lead ahead of most of the guys and then ended up getting passed on the second half of the 1500. We'll see if that changes this evening. Here's the 200-meter mark, already a quarter of the way through. Look at how dead even this heat of 800 freestylers is. Less than 2 seconds separating everybody. Same thing for the guys. Earlier we saw a bunch of 800s turned in. Whitaker Stewart out of Carmel Swim Club, the owner of the fastest afternoon swim of 8:14.56. Carlson looks to continue to have the lead. Yes, he does. A quarter of a second ahead of Fink at the 250-meter mark. Will Mulgrew jumps 2 spots with a quick 29.9 there. The only guy to split under 30 point since the 100-meter mark. Is it a change of strategy or just a slight push to get back into that clean front-facing water? Here's the 300-meter mark. Mulgrew in second by 0.07 of a second. Carlson continues to lead. 2:57 at the 300 for Carlson. A solid second under lifetime best pace. Carlson, Creasy, Sandage, and Allen have all multiple times been on that 8-minute mark, knocking to get on to the sub 8-minute performance. A huge accomplishment reserved for very few elite 800 swimmers, and fitting for the race that we've had so far, a tie at the 350. Mulgrew and Carlson 3:28.07, a 1/10 of a second ahead of Fink, 0.8 of a second ahead of Hick. And then add another second, and Ellis Creasy is right there in lane 2. This is your halfway point. Mulgrew back in second by a 1/10. Carlson back on top. Technically never left it, but now it's just his. 3:58.23 for him at the 400. Bobby Fink not going anywhere. We talked about it on Thursday night. One of the most dangerous men in the world to allow to stay close to the lead pace. Will Mulgrew even commented on it in his post-race interview, saying he knew what was coming and he had to build as much of a buffer as possible between him and the rest of the field, but especially Bobby Fink. This is 500 meters. Carlson continuing to look confident, flipping at a 4:58.65. Now 3+ seconds up on his lifetime best pace, which puts him definitely under 8-minute pace. He's got to hold tight for the last 300 meters. Bobby Fink moves up into second, but everybody got out split by Carlson there with another 30.2. $250 meters to go here in this top-seeded final of 800 swimmers. Have we seen a little bit of that endurance wearing thin in lane 1 as Carlson splits a 30.5, Fink a 30.2 to pull within 1/10 of a second of Carlson. $200 meters to go. Carlson rights the ship with a 29.8, almost an overcorrection potentially. He puts 0.6 of a second between him and Bobby Fink. Will Mulgrew lurking right there in lane 5, as is Carson Hick in 3. But they all need to do something if they're going to chase down Max Carlson, who's on his way potentially to breaking 8 minutes for the first time in his career.